Hey there, I previously made a video that talked about all of the Trust Master rewards and Super Trust Master rewards of the collaboration units, but I didn't actually talk about any of the units themselves. So in this video, I will be talking about the 5 units who did get upgraded: Sube, Jensen, Elly, Rico Rodriguez, and Rena. None of the other units have received their enhancements. Hopefully they will in the near future. But for now, just know that none of them are incredible enough to spend your free collaboration exchange ticket on. However, if you want them for a certain Trust Master reward or Super Trust Master reward, or perhaps if they're just a favorite character, go ahead and enhance them. They all have a role that they can fulfill, and it's sometimes just nice to have a unit that you like around. But before I talk about the 5 featured units, I have to tell you guys about the prisms in the Trust Coin shop. Once you accumulate enough Trust Coins, you can exchange them for a prism from a featured pool. Here you can get the prisms for A2, 2B, Rena, Fiat, Jensen, or Victor Marchenko. It would certainly make it easier to get the Super Trust Master reward of any of these 6 units, so it's not a bad idea to choose one of these units just because their prism is available. None of the 5 enhanced units here have become so good that they've become game-breaking, but I plan to cover the basic changes to each unit and what they're now better for. If you want an in-depth reveal for a specific unit, comment below on which one you'd like. I might make a video on that unit at another date. So let's begin with 2B. 2B's limit burst can now be upgraded to do even more damage, though its chaining frames are still rather difficult to pull off. It also mitigates physical damage dealt to her by 20%, which is a nice bonus. 20% isn't incredibly high, but it's better that it's there than instead of it not being there. Unfortunately, they didn't improve any of the limit burst breaks, but they did improve them for her cooldown abilities. Supreme Support Weapon can now break the enemy by 80%, and Yorha's Sword Dance can break by 75%. As a result, you should probably stick with a rotation between those 2 cooldown skills if you want to use her as a pure breaker. But doing so is a waste of a good attack stat, and she can now chain with her Absolute Mirror of Equity and Stardust Ray families. She becomes a better breaker than Elaphim, Kryla, and Summerfina and Lid, though she only outplays them in their role as a breaker. Adventurer Locke beats her out due to his ridiculous 84% stat breaks on his limit burst, and Riku II can ensure a more constant 80 breaks. Outside of being a breaker, her damage has improved by a significant margin, though only in comparison with her past self. I wouldn't use her as a pure damage dealer, rather as a supporter for a physical damage dealer that shares similar chains with her. Jensen primarily serves as a physical attacker, though he won't overtake any of the top spots in this current meta. A lot of his attacks have now been included into a chaining family, particularly Stardust Ray, and he's a better attacker if you want someone that can deal lightning or fire damage. He also has an interesting ability that can negate at least 2 physical attacks for your team, though he'll have to reapply them once they've been used up. He can now dual cast any of his skills, which makes him a better case as a main damage dealer than 2B, but since he doesn't outright beat anyone worthy of noting, he's better off being used as an assistant that can apply Mirages, Imperos, and a bit of damage. Elly has received a damage boost if she chooses to wield multiple weapons or not, so it gives you the opportunity to go either way depending on your current equipment. All of her attacks can now become a member of the Chaos Wave Awakened chain family, which many of the most powerful magic damage dealers are a part of. Her limit burst, interestingly enough, has been changed into a physical attack that deals magic damage. I get that this sounds confusing, and I'll explain that in another video, so make sure to subscribe for that. But for now, just know that it means that you have the freedom to make it deal elemental damage, as well as take advantage of basic physical killers you find on your Esper. It still only does 1 hit, so you want to use it as a finisher when you can. She is more than capable of becoming a main magic damage dealer, and it doesn't hurt to have different choices in elements. Rico Rodriguez has received the Awakened form, and, notably, a Magnus ability. A Magnus ability is a limited use ability that can only be used a certain amount of times per battle. It makes sense, considering how powerful this one is, especially when used against a human enemy. Unfortunately, it's rather difficult to chain in conventional attacks, but it's certainly worth a shot. He now chains with 3 different families, though you probably won't use the Octaslash chaining ability that often. You're not going to use him as a breaker at all, because he's not that good in that role. But his Imperos on the other hand are incredible at 120%, and there isn't any reason not to keep at least one up during the battle. Unfortunately, you have to imbue him with water or earth if you want to use those elements to greatest effect, though he can take care of fire himself. He can even give his entire team the fire element, though only for one turn. Regardless, he can easily take on the role of a primary damage dealer, and there is no reason not to use him if you can. Rena becomes an incredible base buffer for your team, an even better spirit attacker, and an even better healer. If you don't have Lena, Myra, or Dr. Aiden, go get Rena. She even has her prism in the Trust Coin shop, so if you don't feel like spending any unit of choice tickets, there's even that as another incentive. In fact, if I didn't have Lena, I'd be going for Rena since I like her as a unit and she's incredible gameplay-wise. Unfortunately, she can't triple cast anything, which, to be honest, is an incredibly broken ability, especially for supporters anyways. She can also mitigate normal damage and magic damage, and grant immunity to all ailments, stop, charm, and breaks. She also can give your team light elemental attacks, as well as decreasing the enemy's light resistance by 120%. One more notable point is her silence ability, which can negate the next magic spell that the enemy casts. This can be incredibly useful in the right situation, though that's admittedly rather niche. But when the time comes that it's ever needed, I can promise you that you would prefer having Rena there to block any magic spell. And that covers all 5 units that have received the enhancement so far. In the end, I recommend saving your collaboration ticket to see if Gumi will release additional enhancements for the other units. I do not recommend that you get your hopes up. We haven't received anything game-breaking, which is par for the course when you look at this from a financial standpoint. You can still pick a unit even a week after the collaboration festival has ended, so there's no need to rush. Just make sure you do so, since it's a complete waste if you don't end up selecting a unit at all. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, make sure to subscribe and leave a like. Comment below if you have a unit you'd like me to properly reveal, and if any of these 5 units catch your attention.